My friend, it's not every day that we have this amount of truck-related news in one show.
We have a lot to talk about, and it's all good news.
Yes. First, the major part of this episode of TFL Talkin Trucks podcast is about the design and engineering on the new GMC Hummer EV.
That's right. And you had a chance to go into the weeds with a designer and really flesh out the details. So that's going to come up at the end of this video, at the end of this podcast.
Exactly. But before we get there, we also want to talk about some huge news that Stellantis, Jeep, Ram, Dodge, etc. dropped on us with a brand new internal combustion engine they call the Hurricane.
That's right. And there's two different Hurricanes. It's a straight six, not a V6, a straight six that has two turbochargers, and the assumed output is impressive. Also, this is a powertrain that will be able to hook up to a hybrid system.
Exactly. And we also want to thank you guys. I'm just going to patreon.com/TFLcar because not only do you support us on Patreon, but you helped us at TFL Truck Channel reach 1 million subscribers.
1 million subscribers. We just blew right past it. We keep on going.
Yeah.
TFL Truck is... I'm so proud of the guys and Andre for making this thing work the way it has, and it's about 9 years old now, and we've blown past 1 million. So that means that 2 of our 8 YouTube channels are past 1 million.
Yeah, TFL Car is there.
Right, and combined we're nearly at 3 million.
Yeah, or maybe even surpassing it now.
The last time I checked, we're just about there.
Okay. No, but this is thanks to you. This could not be done without you. You guys support us with donations at patreon.com/TFLcar.
That's right.
And this is a great opportunity for us to discuss questions and comments, right? You can comment and write to us there. Very direct, we're very quick usually to that.
Yep.
And also you're supporting this podcast and our TFL Truck channel, so thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it, and without you, we wouldn't be here.
And we also have a very special video on TFL Truck celebrating 1 million subscriptions, and we also have a giveaway. So check it out. If you send us an image of a pickup truck that you bought because you watched the Night Gauntlet, you can actually send your image and a little blurb about it to Instagram at TFL Truck or at ask@tfltruck.com, our email address. And we'll randomly pick 3 winners. And the main prize is?
One of our special belt buckles that is from the Ike Gauntlet. There's only a couple left, and we don't normally give them out. It's
usually locked in the cupboard.
Right, a safe.
A safe.
So that's the first prize, and the other 2 prizes are our special hoodies, our TFL Truck hoodies, which are worth like $100 or something like that.
Well, because there's 2 left in the world.
That's it. So they're worth even more.
Yes.
But we're not going to do a dealer markup. But the point is that send us that image. Let us know, if indeed it was inspired by the Ike Gauntlet. Yeah. And we will randomly pick 3 to win.
3 winners, yes. And that's coming up within a week. So
yeah, I'm excited about that.
So before we get to the Hummer EV, like we were saying, let's talk about this news. Because this is huge. News is normally dominated by electrification.
It is.
Hybrids, plug-ins, Ford Lightning EVs, GMC Hummers, for example.
Well, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But what is Stellantis doing?
Stellantis has been working on this, and then Stellantis, FCA, this is something that FCA has been working on for a while. And essentially what this is their new go-to engine. Now, currently, I would say that if you look at what Stellantis, and we're talking about, Jeep, Ram, Dodge,
they have many
Fiat,
brands.
Alpha. They put together this engine. It's a world engine that is going to go in a lot of vehicles, but there haven't been any
announcements about
ones.
The vehicles.
Right. But it is assumed that it will replace not only the Pentastar V6, which has been around for a long time. It's a solid old player, but not very powerful, not that efficient, and the 5.7-liter Hemi V8.
So this is a bit of sad news? potentially.
Well, for some people,
they didn't come out and say it.
No, they didn't
yet.
say it. But
Yet.
if you look at the
But-
power numbers, and we have power numbers, but they're not official. They are assumed.
They're estimated because
Estimated.
it'll be different for each vehicle, right?
Exactly.
One vehicle has the different exhaust system, yada,
Right.
yada, yada. So we have estimates from Stellantis, and they're huge power numbers.
There's two different engines that we're talking about here, by the way. There's was it
This
SO?
one, this is a 3-liter straight 6 gas engine, not a diesel, a gasoline engine, twin turbocharged, like you were saying,
Right.
so 2 turbos. And they start with the SO, standard output, they call it.
Yes.
And the standard output estimates are about 400 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque.
And this is on the standard entry-level engine that they have
Entry-level
here.
Hurricane 6.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Okay.
And it has different code names, right?
Yeah.
So actually, a little bit of this kind of almost leaked out a couple months ago. We tracked it on TFLtruck.com.
Right.
We cut up to it, and now this information is fully available now.
Yeah, there was some confusion. Some people thought it was the Tornado or whatever.
I was
and-
one of those people.
Yeah, and it has a special code, engine code, which is like GM something or other.
HO. There's HO, also high output.
Right.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the high output because that one's a beast.
I have a picture of it here.
Yeah. Really hard to tell the difference between the two, to be honest with you. And it's a straight 6.
Yes.
So some of you guys are like, oh, there goes the Hemi sound. I agree. That is a bummer. However, if you've ever listened to a properly tuned BMW, and they do straight 6s right, it is pretty awesome. Will it sound like that? I'm not sure. I have no idea how they tuned it. However, we do have some possible numbers. So
Yes.
what do we got?
So the high output, so we started with 400 horsepower,
Right.
450 torque. The high output version, which has different turbochargers, share a lot of components. I believe it's up to like 96 components are shared.
96%?
No, like different components.
Oh, okay.
So don't quote me completely on this because I want to interview an engineer about it first.
Right, and get the facts. Yeah.
Get all the details which are coming in just a couple of weeks because I'll also be at the New York Auto Show quizzing all of them about this.
Yes.
But this is 500 horsepower estimate,
Yeah.
500, and about 475 torque as kind of a estimate, right? It could be more. They said 475 or more. So these are big numbers, dude.
You mean 575 or more?
475.
So 500. Wait. What was
500 horse.
it? Yeah.
And 475 or more.
Or more torque. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to verify that.
And the high output engine
It's
is listed
not-
at premium fuel only. So
Yeah.
91 octane and above.
Yeah.
The standard output is 87 octane.
87 octane. Compression ratio is not super high compared to some of those other high compression. I mean, we've been seeing some gas engines doing like 12 to 1, 13 to 1. This is
Yeah.
9.5 to 1.
Yeah, on the high output. The standard output is a little bit higher compression, about 10 point something.
Which is decent. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that that's bad. It really depends on a lot of things. Now, why did they build this? Why do they build these engines? And I think that there's a very simple thing going on here. They still have years before they'll be able to switch over to all electric or a lot of electric, right? So they have to power an awful lot of vehicles. That's including trucks and cars.
and big SUVs.
Yeah, and big SUVs. And they need to power the rear wheels or a four-wheel drive system. And the Hemi is just not very efficient, even with cylinder deactivation.
Although it served them wonderfully. I mean,
They've been a great
Yeah.
engine. So the Pentastar has been. It's a solid engine. But we're assuming that this will take the Pentastar V6 and the 5.7 pretty much out of the picture eventually. And you're going to see these engines in a lot of vehicles. Now, I don't think it's set up for a front-wheel drive car. But I could be wrong.
Yeah. I don't think this is necessarily a front-wheel drive setup. This
Yeah,
is rear-wheel drive
definitely
or
rear-wheel-
four-wheel drive
yeah, exactly.
system because you can have a transfer case, you can have other solutions for that. They also have, of course, other engines like the 2-liter, which is in a similar family as this Hurricane.
Right. It's essentially
It's a 4-cylinder.
It's a similar engine,
Yeah.
similar build, and similar technology.
This is just kind of a bigger version of that, which
Two
is
extra cylinders.
really, and really kind of twin turbocharged instead of single turbocharged. Basically, a compound setup from what it appears to be, and I'm very excited. And you were saying, like earlier on, this could be hooked up. They said they designed it with a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid in mind.
Right.
So in theory, you could hook it up to an electric motor as well.
So imagine, if you will, this being hooked up to the 4xe system that's currently available with the 2-liter. Now, the 2-liter, once again, they're related. The 2-liter is currently in the Jeep Wrangler and now the Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Exactly.
And we expect to see it in a lot of other vehicles built by Stellantis. So what if this were to go into the larger vehicles, like a truck maybe, or something
Ram
like that?
1500?
Why not?
Maybe a Grand Wagoneer, maybe a Grand Cherokee.
You want to bet that Stellantis is going to try, at least, to be the first to have a plug-in hybrid pickup truck. Because they have the tech already on hand.
Maybe it will be. It's not as simple as that.
Well,
right?
I know it's not
because
like
there's payloads and towing and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know, but they've already done it twice, and they've done it with two very different vehicles.
Yeah.
And I think that the Jeep, I mean, we're talking about a very heavy frame truck, essentially.
Yeah, the Wrangler, yeah.
Right. So if they were able to package that and make that work, why not do something similar, but with a more powerful engine in their larger pickup trucks? I'm just thinking that could be a really cool possibility, and I'd love to see it. Hell, I would love to see them just use the 4-cylinder version of the 4xe in a Ram and see what happens.
Exactly, because of course the 4-cylinder will be more lightweight.
Yeah.
And it may make more sense. And of course, Ram did announce their full electric Revolution Ram truck.
Right, and also with an extender.
With potential range extender. So,
Right.
I'm sure this engine is probably too big to be a range extender.
I think so, yeah.
Maybe a TRX.
Well, why not? I mean, look, eventually, as much as we hate to say it, large displacement engines in these half-ton trucks, it's just not going to last very long. And eventually, they're going to try to find ways to save fuel, to be greener. This could be the way. We don't know. This could be something, it is something worth watching. I'm very excited about it because I didn't expect them to come out with something this powerful. When I initially heard about it, I didn't think it would be anywhere near these numbers. Yeah. So I'm very excited about this.
This is very, I am, so we need to wait at least a couple of weeks for them to announce some vehicles that this will be in. So we're expecting an announcement at the New York Auto Show, also potentially Moab, Easter Jeep Safari.
Right, Easter Jeep Safari. I have a feeling that there's certain Jeeps that are going to get this. So we should hear about this at about the same time, both in New York and in Moab, Utah, two different sides of the country. Andre will be in New York. Roman and I think Tommy will be in. Who are you going with to New York?
Alex.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going with Alex.
Oh, you're going with Alex. Okay. You need some bail money then. I'll see if I can hook you up. Alex is awesome. So the point is that we will have all of that, and it'll be like double. It's like a burger, two different patties.
Yeah, two different sides of the country, really.
Yeah, and covering it at the same time. It's awesome. I'm thrilled.
So more to come on this space, obviously. Mm-hmm. And let's now switch gears because I had an opportunity to go and interview the chief designer, in fact, of the GMC Hummer pickup truck. This is the EV, of course, the brand new EV truck that they're showcasing. This is the first their Ultium platform vehicle. They have others. They have multiple versions of the Ultium. For example, the Cadillac Lyriq.
Yeah, that's coming out really soon.
Recently announced, they started actually production on that. So this is actually for sale. Not in huge numbers yet. And we'll soon get the numbers because first quarter numbers are coming in about a week from now. So we'll learn exactly how many Hummers, how many EVs they're selling. But I talked with Rich Shear, who traditionally, back in the few years ago, he was kind of their chief of truck design for exteriors. But now they gave him exterior and interior.
Okay, so he's able to go into the weeds with you, go over the details. We're talking inside baseball, folks.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to find out why they did it this way, what does what, and in terms of interior design as well. And actually, I found the interior to be fascinating when I looked at it, so I'm excited about that too.
Yeah, and Richard was actually we'll roll the clip right now.
Right.
He was actually, we went over some of the accessories you can put on it, some of the other, bed accessories, tires, spare tires, tents, racks. So how about this? How about we roll the interview, and we'll see you right after.
Sounds good.
The time is finally here. This is the world debut of the 2022 GMC Hummer EV truck, all-electric super truck perhaps. And here I have the chief designer, is that correct?
Yeah, you could call me that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you introduce yourself briefly?
Yeah. Hi, hello everyone. I'm Rich here. I'm the exterior and for this vehicle, the interior director of design for the Hummer EV. So, hi guys, pleasure to talk to you.
Well, so we've seen prototypes, right, running around. These trucks already on sale.
That's right. Yeah.
But this is kind of my first chance to see the truck in person.
Yeah.
And this is production form.
This is a production truck. You got it. Yep. What do you think?
It's impressive. I love all the little design details. For example, this kind of marker, the amber marker on the headlights is just popping out a little bit.
It's popping out, right? Yeah, these are some kind of unexpected details. Like, you know, this is one of those where we got to get like our side marker regulation. And so this was one where we were kind of balancing all the cool design language of getting a lot of shape and plan view so the vehicle wasn't so square, right? Mm-hmm. But then we still have to make sure that we hit kind of our target measuring points for the side markers. So it was kind of a way to kind of do everything we wanted, make the front end look the way we wanted, pop the side marker off, not have to remote the side marker someplace else. And it just ended up being a really cool detail. I mean, I love the lamps. I think the lamps are really spectacular in it. They're very innovative. One of the things that we wanted to do is with the lights is a telegraph technology that this is an EV. This is like, it's a Hummer EV. It's all new. We were looking forward and we wanted the lamps, headlamps and tail lamps to really look tech and future. And actually, you know, there's kind of a surprise feature when you walk up and it reveals itself as a Hummer. I think everybody kind of sees and knows what it is, Hummer EV, but the lights then reveal the brand name on it. And I just love those kind of design elements that really are kind of a surprise and delight feature. These kind of details in here just kind of mimic almost like a cooling fin on like an old air-cooled engine. You know, and there's a lot of details, you know, that, you know, battery electric vehicles need its own cooling, but it's cooled differently. And so we kind of use some of those motifs, and so you see kind of the vertical patterning in here. Again, that kind of follows that kind of that cooling, like design aesthetic, if you will. Those are the turn signal. They animate from inside out for turn.
Let me turn it on.
Yeah.
Well, just the blinker, right?
Yep. Have it turn left. There you go.
We're turning left. Are we?
There you go.
Okay.
So you kind of see it comes on and then it swipes from inside to out.
A little sequential.
And then opposite, when you charge it, you see the ice blue comes up, and then as it fills, it goes from inside or outside to inside on both sides. Again, first in market to actually show like forward lighting is showing off charge indication. So again, just a kind of another surprise and delight. Make the thing look very tech forward. And I think it's always our desire in automotive to be first to do new things and really get people excited about it.
And it was one of those features.
Yeah,
of
you
course.
bet.
And of course, this is also the headlamp.
Headlamp is down here. This is the headlamp. This is actually the headlamp here. That's the high beam and the low beam.
Right here.
It kind of looks like a fog lamp,
almost
but
like
it is
fog,
not.
yeah.
But it's not down in the lower face. That's the high beam, low beam.
You fooled me.
Yeah. Actually, up here, really, the main function of up here is really, I'll call it like, you've got the side marker, which is needed for function, federal law, and the turn signal. Other than that, it's just a lot of great design theater, if you will.
So it was kind of open canvas for you, really.
Exactly. And it's, it's like you think about it, it is a Hummer. We certainly weren't looking to do anything retro, but we did want a couple of design elements that certainly would clearly give away that it's a Hummer. And so instead of having the ports and needing the cooling as the vehicle before, now we've kind of turned it into these kind of 6 very kind of technical looking lamp details. Well, so just kind of a different spin on kind of the Hummer aesthetic.
So when you were starting, I mean, did you have some of the dimensions already locked in? I mean, it's really wide vehicle, length of it?
Well, I would say when we started, I think the biggest idea, we knew we were going to do a truck. We wanted it to be a super truck, and then we started to define what a super truck meant. We wanted to be very, very capable. It wanted to go off-road and do all the great off-road stuff. So it had to have, great approach angle, departure angle, high ground clearance. This actually has the ability to go, like up and down, raise and lower about 75 millimeters. So all those kind of things that you'd always wish that you can do in a super truck. Obviously, the thing is very fast, but then we also wanted to show that kind of off-road capability. Once we knew what that capability wanted to be, it really said, hey, we need the battery to be this big. And once we knew that kind of power and range that we wanted, the target was, guys, we got to get over 300 miles of range. And it's great. We're up to like 329, which is like kind of exceeded our expectation. And so that kind of defined, like, the batteries, they come in modules. And once you knew the size, like, that kind of gives you the footprint. Every EV, the width, all EVs are wide. We actually targeted like a Raptor in width because we knew we wanted that kind of like off-road capability. That's why the track is pulled wider, and it's wider than 80 inches. So,
and the suspension travel too, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So the vehicle is very, very stable, and it's visually stable because the wheels are pulled out from the body. And so again, the kind of the capability of what you wanted it to be helped define what the size was going to be. We wanted to make sure we had enough truck bed in it. Right, the truck bed, it's certainly not an 8-foot bed, but it really needed to have enough usable bed that truck people could use it. And obviously with the Multi-Pro, you can fold it down and expand the bed length. So you kind of had an idea of what the footprint was going to be. From there, we really just started with, hey, we knew we were going to fit 5 people, much like a crew cab on our, like a Sierra, right, a GMC Sierra pickup truck. We kind of started with some of those dimensions, like vehicle width, like our shoulder room between driver and passenger. Yeah. We kind of changed the chair height so you don't sit up as high as you're in light duty or heavy duty trucks. But we kind of wanted to take the upper and just take the whole vehicle dimension and scale it down so that the vehicle looked long, and just gave it a very different proportion than what you'd expect in like a normal light duty or heavy duty pickup truck.
And it looks like you played with some contrast, right?
We did.
The roof section is different color. I mean, all additional ones are coming this way.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and really down low where you've got the rock slider steps. And what we really needed to know, that now the battery is a double stack battery, and you guys are going to see that here in a minute. And it's big, and we wanted to make sure that we kind of designed around it and brought an aesthetic that didn't just like, it needed to embrace it and try to make it look, work it in with the rest of the aesthetic of the vehicle. So I think we kind of did a nice job, almost in a way, kind of hiding how big that kind of frame and sub chassis is, and really kind of brought that design motif around the wheel openings. In back, we're actually using the element around the tail lamp. Not only is it like be protective of the tail lamp, but graphically it helps kind of shorten the overall length of the vehicle. And again, the blacked out upper makes the vehicle look lower than it truly is dimensionally. In silhouette, this vehicle kind of fits inside like an AT4 light duty GMC. So that lifted truck, that 1-inch lifted truck, that's about the same profile as what you see. We're actually a little bit shorter than, depending on what bed length you choose, but overall, we're about that size. But of course, we're a little bit wider because of the track's been pulled out for kind of that off-road high-speed capability.
And this has the wheels are special.
These
tell me
are
about
accessory
the wheels
wheels.
And some of the like the hook accessories. As well.
Like this particular vehicle that we're showing here have some of the accessory bits on it. And as you walk through all the different setups here, there's a range of accessories. This is like the Tech Bronze accessory package, so it's a different 18-inch wheel. It's got the machine-faced aluminum, and then the paint inside is the Tech Bronze. The Tech Bronze is the color that you're seeing, the metallic finish of the interior. And on the exterior of this one, you're seeing it in the tow hooks, and then you see it kind of on the graphic that's on the hood of the vehicle. So again, just kind of a way to just personalize your Hummer EV.
Yeah, and these are 35s.
These are 35-inch tires, and it's architected for 37s. So you see it in 37s, and it's like it's even more awesome. Yeah, we know the off-road guys absolutely have to do that.
Well, they always want to upsize their tires, right?
And you don't have to do there's no modification needed to put 37s on it, which to me that was very, very important for an off-road truck.
So the wheel opening was actually large enough.
That's correct.
Exactly.
Yep, we've architected so you can do that, no mods needed.
You could see kind of here really quickly, I mean, before we look on the inside and the chassis, I mean, you can see the independent suspension, you can see kind of the height right sensors, and
the air shocks,
the air springs and the shocks and everything else, and four-wheel steering, all that capability.
Correct, yeah.
All right, so the truck is powered on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as simple as kind of
just put your foot on the brake and just press the start, right? Yep. It's kind of funny. It's a start. It's really like an on button more than a start button, right?
Right. And the experience is starting. Yeah. So So you have two big screens,
Yep.
large screens, and some of the bronze finish you were talking about.
Yep,
as
kind
well.
of the bracketry of the bronze finish that kind of holds the screens. Yeah, what we wanted to do on the inside was we really wanted a different experience, and we wanted to make it kind of the idea that we had is we wanted it to be like premium and tech. And then, of course, have a fashion statement. That's why you're kind of seeing the high contrast, the light next to the dark, and then mixed with this kind of metallic bronze finish, this tech bronze. And just to give you a complete different feel. Certainly it doesn't feel like any other General Motors vehicle. And we wanted to make sure it didn't look like any other competitors. So we really had to kind of carve our new space. This is one on the interior. You really couldn't look back to the past because the past was really just a very it was kind of pragmatic, and it really wasn't premium. And so for this, we wanted the experience to be inside to feel premium. And the design team, when you can kind of put together kind of an idea and kind of wrap yourself around a design vision and an idea, everything starts to help design itself. And then when you see the cluster display, you see the lunar motif, and when you go through the ride modes, you see, like the trailer tow. You get to see the trailer tow, and we're actually like trailer towing a Saturn V booster rocket, and it's so cool, right?
Right there.
Yeah, and we were just having fun with all this, and we just wanted it to feel like you're just in something that you've never been before, and kind of have fun with it,
Well, it does work, and also these switches.
Yep.
When I first got into this, production-ready truck,
Yep.
I thought, okay, so these are toggles. That's kind of common, but also they can have multiple functions.
That's correct. Yep.
Which is pretty neat.
And that really, what we wanted to do was have like 90% of all the things you're going to interact, in the interior hanging off of the center screen. Obviously, some are within their touch in here, but we know sometimes on a fully touch screen and you're going through all these menus, it's not the easiest thing to do. And so some things that we wanted to make sure it was very simple. It's a physical button or physical toggle. And then we just kind of hung them off the bottom here, and it just really felt like this is what this kind of vehicle deserves and wanted.
Mm-hmm. Very, very neat. I mean, large screens incorporated. Interesting. And I see kind of little brackets. They're kind of repeated.
Yeah, we just we just wanted to have something that felt like it was holding on. And actually, this bracket is actually what goes back into the instrument panel and does tie into the structure. Obviously, it's off-road. You don't want this thing like shaking off and falling apart. We had fun. Like, this is the center speaker grill, and we kind of tried to make this feel like a topographical map, and it was really fun, working with the audio team. The audio team's like, "You're gonna do what with the speaker?" Because this is not a normal speaker grill, so there's a lot of back and forth with that team to try to do something different, and then just repeat the patterns. And I've been with GM here for a long time now, plus 25 years, and I've spent my entire career on the exterior. In this studio, the performance studio. Because this program was going so fast, I had the great opportunity to do both of them at the same time. So I had an interior team and an exterior team, and they were basically side by side. And many times when each of the team needed help or support, we just kind of shared the workload. And it really, I think, really helped tie the exterior and the interior together. They really feel like a complete product, and I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, and the design graphics are unique, right?
They're cool.
Yeah, and just kind of everything comes together.
They're kind of cinematic, and they're a bit video game, and at the end of the day, this is a big toy, and we just wanted people should, every time they're interacting with the vehicle, they should get a smile on their face. It's fun.
And over here you also have kind of your locker.
Your lockers, yep.
Your rear in the front.
Correct.
3-motor setup.
That's correct.
2 motors in the back, 1 in the front. And
then your watts to freedom. The watts to freedom is a hidden one. You got to go traction control twice.
Let's do it now. We're at the golf course.
We're really going to go off road in here. Yep.
I'm kidding, but I am trying to activate it. I'm not going to launch it.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Don't
I think Renee would come chase us down. She would not be happy.
I don't want to upset Renee. Whatever happens.
Yeah.
But we also have a video on TFL Truck where we show the watts to freedom mode in action. So,
and it's cool. Like you hear the sound, the audio sound. You felt the vibration, the seat. Yeah. The graphics come up, and again, it's it's an event. It's an event that's happening, and when you actually do Watts to Freedom, it's like, my gosh, hold on, and it's like that fun anticipation. Off you go, and it's wild.
Cool.
Yeah, you do the crab walk here. The crab walk functions here on the center, like the ride mode's on the outside, and then we've got a couple functions up, down, and this is kind of a surprise widget. As the vehicle extends through its life, when you press on that, you'll be able to download some new tech that'll be kind of an over-the-air update.
Right here, this little triangle.
Yep.
Okay. Very cool. Do you mind? Should we walk over and just look at the chassis?
Sure
really
can.
quick?
Yeah. You bet.
Let's do it. This is the front, correct?
That's correct. This is the front. Yep.
So you see the electric motor, and the front locker. The engineers are telling me is a kind of a physical, mechanical device.
Yeah, in the rear, it kind of. I'm not the best person to explain it, but the rear locker is it's different. It's like almost like an electronically controlled.
But it's done by software, right?
It's done by software,
right?
Correct.
Because they have two motors, and if you want to lock them, just kind of spin at the same time,
That's
right?
correct.
Or at the same rate. And let's look at the battery really quick.
Yeah, and what you have is you get a chance to see kind of the cutaway of all the modules that's inside. And again, this is a double stack, so you see kind of the top layer, and then below you'll see where the second layer is. And that's really what drove, the rocker section of this vehicle. This is kind of part, battery enclosed. We call it a res pack, but it's also kind of the structure and the frame of the vehicle. So what's incredible about it, it houses the batteries, but it also is strong enough that when you take the roof panels off and you take the I-bar off, the chassis is very, very stiff. So you can do all that off-roading, and it's like the vehicle just doesn't flex. So off-road guys know that you get into those crazy situations. Sometimes the doors don't want to open, right?
Right.
And
or the tailgate doesn't open.
It's like the vehicle starts to switch, but this thing is so strong that I certainly haven't experienced it yet, and I haven't heard it from any of our chassis guys and the off-road guys. So it's very stiff, and it's great. Like, that was kind of part of doing a super truck, the fact that, how do you do a super truck? How do you do a premium? And one of the things we thought, let's make it a convertible. And we did a convertible our own way, and it was like, that was the fun part of this project is all the fun ideas or the crazy ideas, a lot of those really stayed on the project and didn't get kind of washed away like many things do in a normal program.
Like from concept phase.
Right. Like we just kept challenging ourselves, and we had great partnerships to kind of make it all happen. And I'm really proud. I think the end product is just incredible. And again, I've been lucky to drive one, and I can't, now that Detroit, it's like the weather's getting a little bit better, I'm gonna yank the roofs off and just enjoy that.
And you could store them in the front.
You can.
In the front area.
Actually, the vehicle that we have that we were just around, if the front opens, and we've got these kind of accessory storage boxes, so the base vehicle comes with like kind of leather.
Let's show that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Let's show the front opening. I'll push the button, okay?
Yeah, you can do it in the front as well. Here,
oh, really? Where at?
Secret. Top secret, but I'll tell you. Right under here.
Oh, that's the top secret.
Top secret.
We don't want anybody to know this.
Don't tell anybody.
Oh, I see.
Because nothing's worse than like when you're outside your vehicle and you forgot to open the button. And you come back around. Yeah, and so then inside here, we've got these little, just open these up. And then all of the roof panels and the boxes here, they're kind of numbered. So you get a chance, we know driver, the front row, you're going to do more often. So you put the passenger side and front side here so it's labeled. And then inside, these are like the females, and you just lay in the panels and they just stow, and then they're safe. And you could just take all of these out, stack them up. It takes about 5 minutes plus when you kind of get used to it. Put them all back together, and they're really safe and secure.
And they don't rattle.
They don't rattle when you go off road. Like, this is tightly fit. I can tell you, during the process, this was something that was just a must, and it was difficult because as we were designing it, the front compartment and all the packaging bits that you don't see, we were all fighting for this same space.
Okay.
And then at the same time, we were working on the exterior, and the upper was larger, smaller, wider, shorter. And we all had to make sure that those 4 panels at the end fit in here. Because that's part of being premium. Like, if you decide to take it off,
you don't want to leave it in the garage.
And the weather changes, look, if you leave it in the garage, you're making a choice. And that's I think being premium is being able to have any choice you want. So, so I think it's a big plus that we're able to do this. and they're secure in here. So safe and secure. And it makes for a cool design statement here. We dubbed these when we were working on them in the studio pizza boxes. So, of course, designers love pizza.
Really big pizza boxes.
Really big pizza boxes.
While we're here, let's open the tailgate really quick.
You bet. And this has got the multi-pro. All of them come with the multi-pro.
By the way, charger port.
Yep.
350 kilowatts of maximum charging.
Yep. Yeah, and this is kind of the supercharger. You pull that plug off to get to the supercharger part.
Yeah, the really fast one.
Yep.
And I was talking to some engineers. They said, let's say you're navigating to a charger station, it'll tell you not only like the state of charge it will be when you get there, but also starts preconditioning itself.
That's right.
Which is pretty interesting.
It's very cool.
That's very cool.
The tech and the fact that the navigation is connected to the vehicle the way it is, it's like it's doing half the thinking for you, which is great for me.
So I learned this a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
So the small button opens the top section.
That's correct.
This is your multi-pro part, right?
Yep.
And I don't know if I can open the whole thing. Let me try.
Yes, sure can. Yep. This is just a. Yep.
Well, I don't want to hit the wall.
It's all right.
Okay. It's a soft wall.
It's soft.
Okay. So here, is this like 4 feet?
It's longer than 4 feet. Yeah.
Just a little bit longer than 4 feet. Sorry, it's really dark. Really dark.
Yeah, we've got one of the accessory bits on, kind of the soft tonneau
cover. You can extend it, and you have a kicker stereo.
That's correct.
Kind of like a Sierra. Also have, right?
Exactly.
But you have special grills.
Of course we do, right? And we kind of found as many places as we can to kind of hide these fun H's. Vertically in the tail lamps, horizontally in the chimsel.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yep.
All right, so that's the function of the tailgate. All right, let's look at some of the camping accessories.
You bet. So I love the roof racks on it. It even looks more functional. The crossbar, the crossbar on top. And actually, it's like a lot of times when you see those, the cross light, because they kind of come from, they're kind of aftermarket, and they never really quite work with the section and the shape of the roof. But we work with the company to make sure that it matched the plan view. So when you walk around, you didn't see these really kind of crazy lines. And so the light looks like it's not just a part that you bought from, wherever. It actually looks like it fits the vehicle really well.
The bar on top of the windshield, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's got the super off-road lamp there.
Totally, right here. Yeah,
exactly.
And then we've got how this is also integrated, right?
Yeah. And then we've got these are extra LED lamps here. They come off that just mount to the top of the trim that's on the hood.
Yeah.
This design element here, the previous Hummers, they had kind of they mimicked the old oil coolers
and
that were on
filters,
H1s, and we kind of used some of that design element, this great graphic that chased around through the hood.
Gotcha. 3 wipers.
Exactly.
The windshield
is very short, very wide.
Yeah.
I love it when they come on. It's awesome. And again, the roof racks.
And they're integrated so you can still remove the panels.
That's correct. Yep.
So we're talking about these crossbars.
Yep. Those stay on and you can take the roofs off. Yep.
Alrighty. And then of course this is showcasing not just the tent and also the spare tires.
Yep. And you can get it with the dual spare tire. Now the vehicle as a base vehicle does not have a spare tire. But you can choose to have the 1 spare tire or the 2 spare tires, whatever you choose. And again, we love kind of setting it up this way, kind of with the vehicle. It just reminds me of all the cool desert race trucks and the way they're mounted. And we work with the team to make sure that all of that looks cool and the way it looks, that it just wasn't just functional and stock tubing, and we wanted to make sure that looked like it fit the rest of the vehicle. So this was one vehicle that I'd say design and the design center folks, we touched every millimeter of this truck. Even the underbody, if we crawled underneath, you see some of the way the battery tray is underneath. We helped the guys, put some of the structural ribbing in and tried to make sure that anywhere you look in this vehicle, it's designed, well thought out, and was cared for.
And without this extra spare tire carriers, there was just not enough space underneath.
Not enough space.
Just to where the chassis is.
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, like normal pickup trucks, right?
Sometimes
You have this spare, behind the wheel. But these size tires, now we've architected them that you could put 37s on them.
Yeah.
So if you would imagine trying to put a 37 underneath this, the rear end would just be exponentially too long. And then you get to the point where the breakovers aren't right, and you want to be able to have off-road maneuverability. So you gain one function, but you lose something else. So we just found that, hey, at the end of the day, if you're really going to be an off-roader and you're going to do those sorts of things, you're probably going to want to have a spare tire in there.
Or two.
Right? Or two, right?
One or two.
Why not?
Yeah. Just want to check out this a little bit. Yeah, so you can kind of see it all the way open. And it was fun. The fact that the brand is a GMC and that GMC developed this multi-pro, it made all the sense in the world to also include this kind of function and feature for something like this. Yeah, so this truck is tall, but you can easily kind of step up.
And it's actually got the handlebar in there if you want to rotate that out. You could use it for extra leverage getting in and out as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
This guy.
Yep.
This is a good profile view too, and this is kind of a normal ride height.
It is. This is normal ride height. This is kind of what we would call design position. So when we designed it, this was exactly how we had it set up.
Okay.
How we had it set up in the studio. We wanted to make sure that the truck, sometimes the trucks really have a lot of pitch because you put so much load in the back. We wanted to make sure that the vehicle was level, but just had just enough attitude. So getting the the wedge of the vehicle and the lines of the vehicle, all that was really specified and made sure that we got all that balance right.
Very cool. So what was the biggest challenge, maybe,
I think
project?
I think the biggest challenge overall was just time. We had such great partnerships throughout the whole team. Every time we challenged each other, there wasn't anybody on the team that said, this idea is, crazy or not. We all said, boy, if we're excited about it, we think it'd be exciting for the customers, we included it. So we did a lot of things, super truck, big tires, take the panels off, make sure you go, all this stuff.
1,000 horsepower.
But at the end of the day, we had to get it done. We had to get it done at the end of 21. It has to get to production. That was the goal that the company set. Everything else in between there, just make it as special as you can. And that was it, just the time. And I'll tell you, I think if we had more time, I think we probably would have started to overthink ourselves a little bit, and maybe would have convinced ourselves that some of these fun things didn't need to be there, right?
That was a good thing.
Yeah. So sometimes, we were able to make decisions very quickly and not really,
super
worry too much, right?
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for showing me around.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah. I've still learned a lot.
Yeah.
And, I thought I knew most things, but you really kind of shown the light where I think people are curious to see. So thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm really proud to represent the design team on this. I mean, it's for me in my career, it's just a high watermark of really what the capabilities of the team is and how talented the team is. So this is a special day to be able to share this with you and everyone else. So
and the team. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Rich. So that was almost 30 minutes with Rich here, and he was gracious with his time.
He was very gracious with his time. But then again, he was talking to the one man, Andrei Smirnov, who helped get us to 1 million viewers at TFL Truck. I think that's awesome.
I really appreciate it. Yeah. Like we said earlier, you got to watch our TFL Truck video because Mr. Truck was here. Of course, Nathan, you were instrumental. You actually named iGauntlet.
Thank you very much. And I've been reaping the rewards ever since.
Huge rewards.
We're kidding. But the most important thing is that because of this, because we're growing and we're constantly growing, we get access to people like Mr. Shears.
Yeah.
And having that access and being able to go deep into the truck, I mean, that's pretty cool stuff. And I know you can't tell me on camera how it drives or what you really thought about it.
Well, that's coming a little later.
It's a little bit later.
Yeah.
But stay tuned for that. There's a lot. Andre got a ton of coverage, a lot of great camera views, a lot of great stuff that you guys are going to see in the near future on this Hummer.
Yeah, exactly. There's also an off-road video coming up. acceleration videos, other stuff. So stay tuned for that. And don't forget, I mean, we're testing heavy-duty trucks. We also have a video on TFL Truck coming up of the iGauntlet with 2 diesels.
Yes.
This was the Duramax from Chevrolet and also the Cummins from Ram. So we're hitting as many angles as possible.
Oh, and at the same time, I got to interrupt. We're also traveling all over the place, and I wanted to bring up one thing that's about to happen that you and I are leaving
big?
for. Yes,
Big?
In the next, like 12 hours we're leaving or something like that, or something. Go big. Now, this is our new video series that features 3 big-ass SUVs that we bought, and we're turning them into very inexpensive overlanders on a budget. So that series is about to hit, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, those 3 are going to Moab, Utah. So,
And I hope we make it.
I do
Yes.
too.
This is, like you said, we're hoping to start publishing this in May. So this is about a month away.
Yep.
Because we want to complete all our filming like we do with our series. And then actually get it all edited, get it all buttoned up, and actually share it with you guys. The Excursion, the Cadillac Escalade, and the GMC Suburban when it was still a GMC.
When it was still a GMC. By the way, I got an email from somebody saying, well, why didn't you use the first generation Dodge Durango? And there's a very simple reason for that. It would have been great, but it's too small. We needed to
We were going big.
We were going as big as we could get our hands on. And we had 3 different examples. And also we had a budget, and we had to maintain big
And,
and inexpensive.
yeah, and this was a couple months ago where prices were high. I mean, on all vehicles.
It's
So
ridiculous.
we went big maybe at the wrong time.
Oh, well, I think had we waited another 2 weeks, it would have been even worse.
Okay.
And then it
Well,
got better
there-
because gas is really expensive
Yeah.
now. Oh, boy.
Well, there you have it. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Big, huge news coming out of Stellantis. Big news coming out from GMC and GM.
Yeah.
With Hummer EV. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week at TFL Talking Trucks.
See you guys.